Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
As I just said before we went on, this could be really good, or this could be really bad.
We'll find out.
Well, I only gave you half a beer.
Why?
Because I want to fill the other half with Fresca. This is an idea that I had as I was drinking a Fresca. I love Fresca. It's a grapefruit soda water, basically. And, you know, it's like, oh, this kind of tastes like American hops, you know, the grapefruity American hops. I was like, I wonder if we could make either a shandy or a radler out of Fresca.
Yeah.
So that's the premise of the show. So first off, let's taste the beer. This is just an extract pale ale, and I'll tell you what goes in it here in just a second. Let's just taste this.
It smells good. It's familiar.
What do you think?
That's good. Yeah. Very nice. Just a nice, well-balanced
American pale ale.
American pale ale. Easy drinker.
Super easy to make. In fact, the brew day, not counting setting up the equipment and taking down the equipment and cleaning it, was an hour and a half.
I love that. That's my kind of brew day.
From turning on the power to turning off the chiller was about an hour and a half. And here's how that went. Into 5 gallons or 19 liters of water, I steeped 1 pound or 450 grams of 60 Lovibond crystal and 1 pound or 450 grams of flaked wheat. And what I did was I set the temperature controller to 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 C, and then I put the bag in there cold, and then waited, and 30 minutes later, it actually came up to temperature in about 15 minutes. But 30 minutes later, the grain had steeped, and it came up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, so I took that out, the grain out, and then I put in 6 pounds or 2.7 kilograms of Pilsen light dry malt extract. And I only boiled for 15 minutes. At the beginning of that 15-minute boil, I put 2.5 ounces or 71 grams of Cascade at 5% alpha acid. That's for 15 minutes. And then at the end of the boil, I did I shut off the heat and I did a 10-minute hop stand. I put the other half an ounce or 14 grams of Cascade in there, 1 ounce or 28 grams of Centennial at 8.9% alpha acid, and 1 ounce or 28 grams of Simcoe at 11.9% alpha acid. By the time I started off with that 5 gallons of water, by the time I went into the fermenter, I had like four gallons and a quart. And my original gravity was 1072, around there. So what I did was I added enough spring water in there to bring the fermenter up to 6 gallons. And I figured that brings us down to an original gravity around 1051 after topping it up. I was supposed to put grapefruit zest into the flame out with the hops. I forgot. So, so on kegging day, I did a tincture of half a cup of vodka with the peel, the zest from 2 grapefruits, soaked over a couple of days, and I put that into the keg with the beer, and hoping that would make up for my forgetting. Anyway, I fermented with L25 Huga, which is a lager yeast, but I fermented it at ale temperature, and vroom, it went straight through it. And in fact, I kegged.
Kind of like the Mexican beer I had the other night.
Yeah, later on we'll find out. But I kegged a week after I pitched the yeast.
Wow.
So an hour and a half brew day, and then you got beer in the keg a week later.
I love it.
So the stats are 1051, original gravity, final gravity 1012, 5.1% alpha acid. No, 5.1% ABV. I've had one sip of beer.
Yeah, I was having trouble processing. Something about that's not right.
Feel free to call me on anytime I screw up like that.
Well, I would have, but you found it before I did.
I seem so confident.
Yeah.
So what I wanted, and we came up with this concept Matt Giovanisi of Brew Cabin, Josh Secor of Gambit Brewing Company in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I came up with this on an episode of Basic Brewing Radio, where I wanted to do a nice hoppy, like 5% beer, which would be delicious to drink on its own. But then on the days like in the afternoon, you want something just a little, something refreshing to get you through the rest of the afternoon.
Yep.
Something low alcohol, say like 2.5%. The calories in a full pint of this is like 174. So half of that is 87.
Yeah.
So
you can really, yeah. Yeah.
So we like the we like the base beer.
It's a good beer. It's a good, solid American style pale ale.
And I do get some of the grapefruit
Yeah.
zest on the nose.
Yeah.
It was a lot stronger, a week or two ago when I kegged it, but so I'm gonna do.
Hit me.
I'll
Here's your best shot.
We'll just do say that much.
Okay.
Very scientific here. And you know what Fresca tastes like.
Yes.
And you could feel free to use any other.
First, what's the other one? There's Squirt.
What'd you call me?
Don't look that up on the internet. Squirt
.com. So we should talk about what a shandy is and what a rattler is.
Yeah.
Do you want to say it or me?
Well,
because I'm not sure. I think I know what it is.
I'll take a shot at it.
Okay.
So they're the same thing. So a shandy is a beer and generally a lemonade mixed kind of like we just did. They're not brewed. I think
it's more British.
It's British. Yeah. So from the UK, and a radler is kind of the same thing, but they're from Germany or Austria.
Right.
They're not brewed, so the fruit juice is not brewed, or the fruit is not brewed with the beer,
Right.
because then you've just got a fruit beer.
It's kind of like a cocktail.
It's like a cocktail. Or what's a black velvet is a Guinness and champagne,
Oh. Wow.
which is actually delicious. Try that sometime. Just a good stout, your favorite stout, and some champagne. It's
That's
black
a show.
velvet. Yeah, really good. Okay.
So I think the base beer, is either going to be a pale ale or a golden ale, or maybe in Germany a Hefeweizen or wheat beer.
Yep.
So something this color.
Yep.
So anyway, cheers.
Cheers. That's delicious.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. Wow. This is what you start your 6-year-old on.
In the old days. In the old days.
Wait, Health and Human Services, forget that. Forget that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I think it's dang good. I think it's really hard not to drink a bunch of that.
That is so good. You know what it reminds me of? It's like if sweet tea was beer.
It's an Arnold Palmer, but he drinks.
That's right. Well, this will make your putter stand up.
This is a what's his name? The golfer from Arkansas, the out of control
John Daly.
It's a John Daly, is what it is.
Well, it's no cigarettes.
I'm pleasantly surprised at how good that is. I was thinking,
Wow.
I was afraid, and of course you can change the ratios, but I was afraid that the Fresca was going to be overpowering.
Not at all.
But I think in the ratio that I just poured, I think it's really good. And we're not calling it a Radler or a Shandy. We're calling it a Chandler.
Chandler. After Captain Kirk.
And we came up with that on the show, and I was like, that's a great name. Surely somebody's used that. And that people have used that.
Oh, yeah.
So there are no new ideas out there.
Well, it's like when I thought I invented Clusterfuggle. I thought I had invented something really
the
funny.
funniest beer name
ever.
already out
I
there.
looked it up. Nah. They've been using it since the 1500s. Just pronounced it differently.
So what do you think? I think it's a real thing.
I think this could get in my rotation,
so to speak. As you were.
And come out of my rotation a few hours later. But
You were like, a few hours.
actually, what I'd like about it is one, it tastes really good. It's a very drinkable beer. It'd be perfect lawnmower style beer, hot weather beer. And I love the idea that you've taken a 170, 180 calorie 12 ounce portion and turned it into a 90 12 ounce portion.
Yeah.
And way tastier than your big brewery, ultra low. I mean, those things are horrible. This is good, and you get the same effect.
Yeah. There you go.
Good job, James.
So perfect for moist January next year, or damp January. Both, both I think. Some people are saying damp because they don't want to say moist. I think they're about the same.
Yeah.
If, on the offense scale. Anyway,
Anyway.
there you go. First beer of the day, and it's a tasty one. So
Yeah. And
try it, and
locale.
you could try different soft drinks and different. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a ton of different seltzers out there. Soft drink seltzers with all different flavors and stuff.
Which is a super easy thing to do. And you could also just try it with just like make some good lemonade, you know,
Yeah,
and go from there.
yeah. There you go.
It's a country time.
Try it at home, with existing beers and existing soft drinks, and weigh in on the comments below.
Yes.
All right, happy brewing, everybody.
Happy brewing.
Talk to you next time. Come and visit us online at basicbrewing.com. You can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on homebrewing. You can also find our DVDs and our brewer's logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. Thumbnail shot. Don't hold the beer in front of your face. But hold still so I can take a screenshot. Okay. That's how the sausage is made.